Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. 5 Chaos Master looked at molten lava devil god, who had appeared from the lava ocean high in the sky, and felt something amiss. He was shocked inwardly, as he knew that trouble was brewing, yet he maintained a calm composure. He knew that based on the distance between molten lava devil god and himself, given his ability, he would have enough time to escape to the tangency point deep within that underground maze to teleport himself away. The surrounding space was frozen, thus disabling teleportation. Likewise, at the entrance of the underground maze, teleportation was impossible. Only at the deepest area of the cave, waves were gradually showing. One had to reach a tangent position before escape was possible. How lucky that human was, said 5 Chaos Master. If molten lava devil god had not appeared, I would give him a taste of my 5 beasts' great extermination. 5 Chaos Master set his standards high. Out of all the new generation universe masters of the primal universe, only the top-notch ones had fought against him. To him, even Star River Master was no threat. Star River Master, a weird, unique life form, was barely comparable to him in battle. Only Primal Chaos City Leader was able to earn some of his respect. Primal Chaos City Leader's human godly body was comparatively smaller, but he was able to go head-on with 5 Chaos Master's 5 Beast Great Extermination. 5 Beast Great Extermination was a fusion technique composed of the most powerful techniques of the 5 Beast Gods' path. Executed together with his precious and rare true treasure, the power was so great that it was unbelievable. He had spent more one reincarnation era to bring this technique to completion, yet Primal Chaos City Leader was able to fight him all the same. To him, the only one from the Primal Universe, who could hope to become a Universe Supreme Master was none other than Primal Chaos City Leader. A few thoughts flashed through his mind. 5 Chaos Master was about to turn and make a rapid escape, when he suddenly felt an endless, golden, blazing flame in his surroundings, suppressing and squashing him relentlessly. He felt as if countless ropes were binding and tying him up. What? 5 Chaos Master turned his head in disbelief, as he looked at Luo Feng behind him. If there were no obstructions, he could escape. Yet with this terrifying obstruction, he had no time at all. From his golden kingdom, Luo Feng's voice resonated in the ears of 5 Chaos Master, Yin Tuo, and Ultimate Arrow Master. No one leaves. Human Silver Wings Horde Leader, are you out of your mind? Ultimate Arrow Master had been calm about killing Luo Feng, but was now on tenterhooks. It was not worth it, not at the expense of his life. He was not willing to die. Silver Wings Horde Leader, I have already given up going after your life, the Golden Horned Lizard shouted in anxiety. You should not stop me further. They want to kill you, not me. 5 Chaos Leader was staring coldly. Apparently, he was extremely furious. Silver Wings Horde Leader, are you thinking of perishing together? Perishing together? Luo Feng said. He was flying at lightning speed. The obstacles you all are facing now are helpful boosters to me. This is my territory. Ha ha, of course you are the ones to die while I live. 5 Chaos Master. I heard you have another body, but I'm afraid even your strongest body would go crazy if you lose this precious and rare true treasure that you have painstakingly spent 3 reincarnation eras to gather to completion. We die and you live. 5 Chaos Master's voice was transmitted to Golden Kingdom. What arrogance! Once I execute 5 Chaos Sector, together with my Water Ripple Prison, I would be able to bring you under complete suppression, unless you execute your miniature universe. But even if you did, 5 Chaos Sector and miniature universe would perish together. Thereafter, I would be sure to execute it again. You and I will be in a standoff, by then, no one will be able to escape. I have lived for close to 3 reincarnation eras. It is nothing having to see my end, but it's different for you. How long have you lived so far? Life's too short, and perishing with me now is simply not worth it. Silver Wings Horde Leader, it is now more important to escape for dear life, Ultimate Arrow Master added. Yes, making it out alive is more important, said Yintuo, filled with anxiety. Ha ha. You have another body, and so do I, said Luo Feng. A standoff it shall be. At most, we die together. Luo Feng continued to fly at lightning speed. While description might take some time, when it came to communication with powers at their level, the speed of interactive transmission via godly power was so incredibly fast that it was intimidating. And the speed of molten lava devil god was equally intimidating. Its power had attained an unbelievable level. Even universe supreme masters, with supreme true treasures, would become flustered and run away the moment they saw him. This was enough to know his might. He was even referred to as a human form supreme true treasure, as he had reached the level of force against technique. All kinds of laws were meaningless to it, and its speed had reached a limit that far exceeded 100 times light speed. Its speed had exceeded thousands and millions of times the light speed. Just as he was emerging from within the lava ocean, both legs landed on the endless, black, rocky land. One stomp of this lofty molten lava devil monster, a towering figure of 10 million kilometers, was mightier than any other celestial rock by thousands and millions of times. Endless black rocks from the large surrounding domains were bashed to pieces in an instant. A large gully cracked open a distance away. At the same time, a surrounding area of a few billion meters of the black rocky land had completely sunken down by a few million kilometers. The impact of his single step was so strong that many caves and tunnels of the underground mazes deep beneath the affected land gave way and collapsed. One single step. It was as though he had trampled on the hearts and souls of 5 Chaos Master, Yintuo, and Ultimate Arrow Master. All of them were filled with anxiety. Human, you really want to perish together? 5 Chaos Master demanded. His eyes looked murderous. This was his master body for battles, and he had brought along with him various precious true treasures, just like how Luo Feng had Star Tower and Shawu Wings with him. It was the same for 5 Chaos Master. It would drive him crazy to be annihilated. Human, hurry, hurry, hurry. Ultimate Arrow Master was mad with worry. Yintuo was truly worried. Silver Wings Horde Leader, I have given up trying to kill you. Why are you insisting of dragging me to doomsday with you? Although they were all crazy, the idea of dying at the hands of molten lava devil god was too great an injustice for them. Instead of heeding their words, Luo Feng jested, if we all die together, we will have forged a friendship of life and death. 5 Chaos Master gazed at molten lava devil god in the distance. Actually, molten lava devil god was still very far away. Due to his massive godly body, he could clearly be seen even extremely far away. The distance might have been very far, but with his ability to use force against technique, and that speed of his, which exceeded 100 times light speed by thousands and millions of times, 5 Chaos Master was burning with anxiety. 5 Chaos Master's face grew distorted, and his eyes flashed murderous intentions. Through gritted teeth, he said, Silver Wings Horde Leader, if you continue to fight, we will all perish. And I swear, I, 5 Chaos, will come after you and hunt every single body of yours to death. Every body of yours that I see, I will hack to death. I welcome your attacks, Luo Feng taunted. The pressure you give me will be a good way for me to hone my skills. With such honing, I will be able to trample on you in the future, and I shall enter the Hall of Universe Supreme Masters. Ultimate Arrow Master appeared conflicted. This annoying human was still in the mood for jokes in this life and death situation. But he was also aware that, for him to be joking at this moment, to even be able to laugh, it meant Luo Feng must have made his decision, and would not change his mind further. I do not, Yintuo stammered anxiously. You wanted to kill me for my treasure not long ago, isn't that so, said Luo Feng. At this point, you're still thinking of escaping, but it's too late. Luo Feng threw a glance at the golden horned lizard behind him, and at the same time, he saw the immeasurably towering, gigantic molten lava devil god. It was very far away, yet Luo Feng could still feel a pressure exerted by its towering figure. 5 Chaos Master wailed, burning with rage. Oh, how angry and furious he was. This young fellow, whom he had no trouble killing before now, was thinking of dragging him to Hell's Gate. He did not want to meet his downfall at the hands of this young upstart, so he had to tolerate him. Silver Wings Horde leader, we should escape together, he said. Release the domain's suppression over me. I swear I will not pursue you, and I will give you a pinnacle true treasure. 5 Chaos Master was really trying to compromise, because time was of the essence. In the distance, Molten Lava Devil God was approaching at lightning speed. Its huge legs were stepping on the endless, black, rocky land, and every step was a step of destruction. His attack was more terrifying than any other Universe Supreme Master. Gallop, trample, the endless rocky land was trembling. Silver Wings Horde leader. 5 Chaos Master stared at Luo Feng. At this moment, his eyes inevitably betrayed the hint of a plea. For someone so arrogant like him to lower himself, this was not easy for him at all. Yet he was unwilling to give up everything precious that he had spent 3 reincarnation eras accumulating. Hurry! We do not have time to waste. Ultimate Arrow Master was pleading anxiously. Silver Wings Horde leader. Silver Wings Horde leader. Why didn't I hurry off earlier when I still could, lamented Yin Tuo. I should never have stayed behind to watch the crossfire between Luo Feng and 5 Chaos Master. Being a busybody, now I have to pay with my life. Ha ha ha, laughed Luo Feng. Earlier, he had been joking and teasing. Suddenly, his eyes burned with murderous intent. His face became dark and frightening. The almighty 5 Chaos Master is actually begging. How interesting. Dream on. Previously, I allowed you to trample on me in any way you liked, but did the thought of just letting me go ever occur to you? Now you want to leave. Too late. We did give you chances previously. Ultimate Arrow Master quickly protested. Chances? Those were chances. You told me to leave my palace true treasure, and Wings true treasure. Then you would spare my life. Luo Feng sneered. Very well, 5 Chaos Master. You shall hand over Forbidden Temple, and Extermination Godly Armor. Then I will let you go. As for you, Ultimate Arrow Master, you shall hand over Core of Blade Sector, and I will let you go. Yin Tuo, you shall hand over Golden Sulphone Armor. I will spare your life. 5 Chaos Master, Ultimate Arrow Master, and Yin Tuo went silent, especially 5 Chaos Master. Water Ripple Prison was a pinnacle domain true treasure, while Forbidden Temple was a pinnacle palace true treasure. Extermination Godly Armor was his life. It was more precious that Water Ripple Prison and Forbidden Temple put together. It was comparable to a unique object. Didn't you all say you gave me chances, said Luo Feng. I am now giving you all chances, too. Your chances are here. Take them. His eyes were filled with jest and indifference. Molten Lava Devil God's footwork was extremely fast. Every step could cover at least 10 billion kilometers. He was within eyesight now. Molten Lava Devil God was becoming bigger and bigger, which made 5 Chaos Leader increasingly anxious, so anxious that he was losing his sanity. He wished he could devour Luo Feng bite by bite. He wanted to bite off mouthfuls of Luo Feng's flesh and bones and suck his blood dry. This loathsome Luo Feng. 5 Chaos Master was raging in his heart. Don't you think of going out of here alive? 5 Chaos Master suddenly roared. Behind him, a single-eyed shadow released an endless light, inducing a change between the heavens and the earth, which transformed into a world of 5 Chaos Sector within an instant. Water Ripple Prison was executed once again. Together with 5 Chaos Sector, Luo Feng's Golden Kingdom and Blazing Flames Ocean were annihilated in an instant. Yet Luo Feng maintained his sickening smile and executed Miniature Universe. An endless chaotic airflow spread out. On the one hand, there was 5 Chaos Sector and Water Ripple Prison. On the other hand, there was Golden Kingdom, Miniature Universe, and Blazing Flames Ocean. The two were crazily entangled, with Miniature Universe and 5 Chaos Sector constantly colliding against one another. Both were shattered into shards and pieces. However, they had been fighting for only a split second. Molten Lava Devil God had progressed to dangerously close by. Near molten lava devil god, the golden horned lizard said in a voice filled with despair, "It is too late now." Luo Feng, 5 Chaos Master, and Ultimate Arrow Master all looked at the towering molten lava devil god. They all realized that they didn't have time anymore, especially after the fight between Luo Feng and 5 Chaos Master, which only took 1 second and crushed both Miniature Universe and 5 Chaos Sector, and which blocked the safest route for them. The safest route was to fly underground and to get into the underground cave. Then they could teleport themselves and leave. But after 1 second, it was too late. Yin Tuo was closest to molten lava devil god. He had become a golden horned lizard by using golden sulfone armor. Luo Feng was the second closest, while 5 Chaos Master and Ultimate Arrow Master were the farthest. However, they were all less than 10 billion kilometers away from each other. That was only one step for molten lava devil god. Luo Feng had told them he would let them go if they gave him Water Ripple Prison, Forbidden Temple, Extermination Godly Armor, Core of Blade Sector, and Golden Sulfone Armor. But who was willing to give those up? They were their most important true treasures, and they would fight even if they had the slightest chance. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! The golden, one-horned lizard was yelling. His body quickly bulged. It was formed by the true treasure golden sulfone armor, and it was turned into a beast god. At the same time, it became larger abruptly under Yin Tuo's power. It turned into a golden, one-horned lizard 100 million kilometers tall. Come in, Ultimate Arrow Master. 5 Chaos Master turned his hands, and a palace surrounded by lightning showed up. It was the pinnacle flying palace type true treasure, Forbidden Palace. Okay, said Ultimate Arrow Master, and went in it without hesitation. 5 Chaos Master glanced at Luo Feng in the distance, then entered the Forbidden Palace. Luo Feng turned his hands also, and a bloody pyramid showed up. That bloody pyramid was Star Tower. Inside the tower was golden horned beast body. The golden horned beast had blood cloud pearl. With it, he was able to disguise the godly body, its aura, and the shape of true treasures and armors. He had made Star Tower into the shape of a long shuttle, and now, he changed it into the shape of a pyramid. It was easier to disguise it as a bloody pyramid. Luo Feng went into the bloody pyramid. Luo Feng had stalled the others, which had stripped them of their best chances of survival. However, the Supreme Beings wouldn't just accept death like that. They would fight for their lives. All of them were struggling to survive. They fought for the last chance to survive. At the same time, the rocks cracked, and the towering molten lava devil god showed up. There was heated lava all over his body, and his 3 eyes burned, nearly bursting with mad hostility. Even Luo Feng, Yin Tuo, 5 Chaos Master, and Ultimate Arrow Master didn't dare look him directly in the eye. If they did, the mind attack would lower their power by half. His fangs were bared, and growls emanated from his giant godly body. The space was completely shattered. Larger, larger, larger. The golden horned lizard was already almost 1 billion kilometers long. Die. The 3 eyes of molten lava devil god were on the golden horned lizard in the distance, and a ripple came from his mouth. Though none of them had heard of it before, Luo Feng, 5 Chaos Master, and Ultimate Arrow Master all knew what that meant. The right leg of molten lava devil god moved, and unlike before, the right leg moved extremely fast. That leg seemed to be able to destroy a small universe. It was irresistible. The mysteries behind this move were beyond Luo Feng's imagination. He kicked the giant lizard. The golden lizard roared in agony, and was shattered completely. The fragments of its body flew in all directions, and there were cracks on the fragments. Apparently, that attack was able to damage a top-tier pinnacle spiritual force true treasure weapon. While the fragments were flying, so did countless drops of water. They rained down on the black ground. The drops of water slipped into the cracks and fell. Humph! Molten lava devil god felt that there was still power underneath, so he trod down again. The rocks rumbled. The water was annihilated. Then molten lava devil god raised his head, as he noticed the 2 flying objects in the lava ocean. He could sense the creatures inside the flying objects. The bloody pyramid, Star Tower, held Luofeng and the golden horned beast, and inside Forbidden Temple were 5 Chaos Master and Ultimate Arrow Master. The two flying objects surged almost at the same time. Just when Molten Lava Devil God crushed the golden horned lizard with his step, the two flying objects flew into the lava ocean. Die. Molten Lava Devil God had ripples coming out of his throat. He waved his hands and reached toward the lava ocean. Deep inside the black ground. One drop had reached a very deep place. There were space ripples. It flew to an area in the distance, a place more than 200 light-years away from the battlefield, inside an underground cave deep under the ground. It was an exquisite cave, and a red, child-shaped being appeared in it. I came back. Yin Tuo's body trembled. He was a unique life form from the first universe era, and he had gotten the name Yin Tuo because he was unique. He didn't have a gigantic godly body. However, what was special about his body was that it was able to reduce any attacks to 1/10,000th. And with the true treasure armor, it could weaken it to 1/100,000,000th. How incredible it was. That was why he was called Undying Yin Tuo. No wonder, it's Molten Lava Devil God, said Yin Tuo. One attack damaged my golden sulphone armor, and the second attack annihilated 9/10ths of my godly body. Fortunately, he only trod on the ground instead of attacking me directly. Otherwise, I would be dead already. Besides, 5 Chaos Master and Silver Wing Horde Leader attracted him also, so I escaped death. Drops of water around Yin Tuo showed up and merged with his body, and his godly body recovered immediately. Those drops of water belonged to his godly body. And they would merge together. Actually, he had two choices. The first option was to rely on his armor. However, he knew for sure that the armor was only able to weaken the attack to 1/10th at the most. If he didn't dismantle his godly armor, he would die, which was why he had put back his true treasure armor. Just as the golden, one-horned lizard had crumbled, his godly body had dissipated and was turned into countless drops of water. When Molten Lava Devil God stomped the second time, though 90% of the drops of water disappeared, some of the water was already deep in the cracks. Plus, it belonged to a universe master. Some of it survived. I only have 11.2% of my godly body left. Yin Tuo's eyes glinted. My golden sulphone armor is also damaged, and it can only wield 1/10th its power. I don't even know whether I can get it back or not. Damn it. Damn it. Yin Tuo was furious. Silver Wing Horde Leader. 5 Chaos Master. Grudges filled his heart. That maniac. That human is a maniac. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have suffered this much. And that idiot 5 Chaos Master. If he could have killed Luofeng, I wouldn't have suffered this much. My golden sulphone armor. My godly body. Yin Tuo clenched his teeth. He had suffered huge losses this time. I won't let you guys go this easily. Silver Wing Horde Leader, your Silver Wing true treasure is impressive, yet you've been keeping it as a secret. Perhaps it's as valuable as extermination godly armor. Yin Tuo's eyes glinted fiercely. You don't want others to know. I'll make it known to everyone. And 5 Chaos Master. You have so much pride in yourself, but your original body might die. Ha ha. What a scandal. What a scandal. I'll let everyone know as well. I'll make life miserable for both of you. Yin Tuo hated their guts. In the endless lava ocean. The giant arm was waving in the lava. And that forbidden palace, which looked like a glass ball, was moving forward carefully. 5 Chaos Master and Ultimate Master appeared solemn. 5 Chaos Master, said Ultimate Arrow Master. This is our only chance, said 5 Chaos Master. I need to go through Lava Ocean. I'll race to the top of Lava Ocean and arrive at Blazing Flames Lake. The worst we can go through is the 7-level calamities. The first level is Molten Lava Devil God. Now that Molten Lava Devil God has woken up, he won't come to Lava Ocean. This is the rule. Ultimate Arrow Master nodded. From God-destroying valley to the endless lava ocean, he arrived at another dangerous place, Blazing Flames Lake. This was a path filled with hazards. Only Universe Supreme Masters dared to venture there. 7-level calamities. I have to go through it. I have to. 5 Chaos Master clenched his teeth, and his eyes glinted fiercely. Human Silver Wing Horde Leader. Silver Wing Horde Leader, he yelled crazily. He would never forget that this had all brought on by that crazy human Silver Wing Horde Leader. Inside the whirlpool center of the lava ocean. The bloody pyramid was close to the lava whirlpool. Once it entered, it immediately neared the whirlpool, and was sucked into the center of the whirlpool. I can get to another dangerous place, Blazing Water Lake, from God-destroying valley, thought Luo Feng. There's a shortcut to get out of the lava ocean. Based on the records left by Jie Fanzi, there are 6 calamities to get through. Even if I have Star Tower, I might be trapped in the lava ocean. The only way is to enter the center of the lava whirlpool, said Luo Feng. The center of the lava whirlpool can affect the space underneath, and formed annihilation whirlwind. The center of the lava ocean is more horrendous. The deeper it is inside, the more powerful the strangling power is, and even Pinnacle Palace true treasures can be damaged. Supreme Palace type true treasures can resist it, and it'll get faster the deeper it gets. I'll go to Blazing Water Lake. It's a path that leads to certain death for others, but this is the safest path for me since I have a Supreme Palace true treasure. Luo Feng's eyes glinted with expectation. Although it isn't my place, it's worth it. The bloody pyramid was sucked into the center of the lava whirlpool, kept moving to the depth of the whirlpool. The deeper it was in the whirlpool, the more terrifying the swallowing, gravitational power was. Luo Feng and the golden horned beast were both standing in the control room, could feel the bloody pyramid, Star Tower, still spinning. How terrifying. It can definitely rival that wing space, that endless blade storms, Luo Feng thought. Only in those blade storms would Star Tower fly so out of control. Now, Star Tower wasn't able to control its own direction, and it completely followed the course of the swallowing, gravitational power. Speed up. Speed up. 300 times faster than light speed. 500 times faster than light speed. 1,000 times faster than light speed. 2,000 times faster than light speed. 5,000 times faster than light speed. The power in the center of lava whirlpool had made the laws retreat, and the bloody pyramid became a bloody light. Luo Feng stayed in the tower, as he felt a force like Star Tower being hit by billions of hammers. Jie Fanzi was indeed right, exclaimed Luo Feng. The center of the whirlpool is indeed the most terrifying place in lava ocean. Even Pinnacle Palace type true treasures will be destroyed. Only Supreme Palace type true treasures can traverse this path safely. He was lucky enough. Even though there were several Supreme true treasures, there were different types of Supreme true treasures. 5-color Aurora Lake of the Ancestral God School, the Protecting Armor true treasure of Virtual Real Devil Master, the Axe true treasure of Huge Axe Founder, none of them were Palace type true treasures. There were quite a few Supreme true treasures from the 3 incarnations and the 2 Holy Lands. However, there were only a few of each type. What happened to 5 Chaos Master? Did he die? Luo Feng wondered. He also delved into lava ocean and tried to seize a chance to survive. He'll be extremely lucky if he survives. 5 Chaos Master and Ultimate Arrow Master sat in Forbidden Palace, and they weren't able to speed up at the center of the whirlpool. There were plenty of obstacles in lava ocean itself, so it was relatively slow. Be careful. Ultimate Arrow, you'll be in charge of this side, and I'll be in charge of that side. Okay. 5 Chaos Master and Ultimate Arrow Master both performed their pinnacle domain type true treasures. However, the lava outside was too terrifyingly powerful, so even pinnacle domain type true treasures were only able to penetrate a small area. How long will it take for us to get to Blazing Water Lake? Ultimate Arrow Master couldn't help asking. Blazing Water Lake. We're traveling tens of times faster than light speed, so it'll take a much longer time to go through the entire lava ocean. We've only traveled less 1/10,000th. The eyes of 5 Chaos Master glinted with madness. Less than 1/10,000th. Ultimate Arrow Master was in despair. That short moment already intimidated him. The rumor had been false. It was indeed a land of death. If he had traveled alone, he would have died. Strive. 5 Chaos Master glanced at him fiercely. Don't worry. I'm here. Okay. Okay, said Ultimate Arrow Master anxiously. 5 Chaos Master, I don't have another body. I only have an original body. You have to withstand it. Of course, I'll strive. Do you really think I can let my extermination godly armor go? Do you really think I'll let all my accumulation go? 5 Chaos Master said, glancing at him. Okay, okay. Ultimate Arrow Master nodded. He tried his best to perform his pinnacle domain type true treasure core of Blade Sector. However, the one with bodies and the one without had completely different mindsets. Besides, those dangers made Ultimate Arrow Master despair. That sense of despair and the fact that he might die anytime drove Ultimate Arrow Master mad. Humph. 5 Chaos Master devoted all his attention and energies to it. He sometimes controlled Forbidden Palace, sometimes controlled Water Ripple Prison, and sometimes performed his technique using Water Ripple Prison. He had created lots of techniques in the past 3 incarnation eras, and he performed them one after another based on the situations. As for Ultimate Arrow, he was useless. The bloody pyramid kept getting faster at the center of Lava Ocean Whirlpool. It was already 100,000 times faster than light speed, and the way it traveled against laws dazzled Luo Feng. 5 minutes and the 33 seconds after it entered Lava Ocean. A trace of bloody light flew out of Lava Ocean, flew across the space, and went into the cold water. It hit the waters at a speed of more than 100,000 times light speed. Each drop of water was heavier than neutrons. The power from that hit could have cracked a top-tier palace-type true treasure. Fortunately, the bloody pyramid was Star Tower, and it was able to withstand that power. It immediately slowed down, and under that resistance and suppression, the speed of the pyramid plummeted. 10,000 times light speed, 1,000 times light speed, 100 times light speed. Besides, he traveled from Lava Ocean, which could immediately annihilate godly bodies of Universe Masters, from the water that could freeze godly bodies of Universe Masters to death. The immediate change was luckily borne by Star Tower. 1 minute and 58 seconds after the bloody pyramid entered the cold waters, it was traveling 100 times faster than light speed. It broke the waves, which sharply slowed down the bloody pyramid. Then it came down and landed out of the sky, floating around several 100 million kilometers above the lakes. A human flew out of the bloody pyramid and became 10 meters tall. Wow! Although this path is safe, I don't know if it's changed after all those eras. Luo Feng looked down on the lakes and smiled. Good. I arrived at another dangerous place, Blazing Water Lake. He had dared to do this not only because of the map left by Jiefanzi, but also because he had Star Tower, which could at least save his life. Even if he ran into some special situations, he found them to be worth it, as he could avenge himself against 5 Chaos Master. Humph. 5 Chaos Master. Luo Feng looked out over Blazing Water Lake. That Forbidden Palace can only travel tens of times faster than light. It might take you several days to get through Lava Ocean. All those dangers. Ha ha. Hope you can make it. He indeed felt great after taking vengeance on 5 Chaos Master, who could rival his teacher. Only those Universe Masters, with supreme true treasures, could surpass 5 Chaos Master. Blazing Water Lake. Luo Feng stopped thinking about that 5 Chaos Master, and he started to contemplate a new path. From God-destroying valley to Lava Ocean, then arriving at Blazing Water Lake. He needed to slightly alter his path. Good. I've been through more dangerous places, but those were not as dangerous as God-destroying valley. Luo Feng looked around at the endless blazing water lake. He saw bubbles bursting on the lake, and there was blue fire on the surface of the water like alcohol burning. Blazing water, blazing water. It was named such because of the flames. Blazing Water Lake, information flooded Luo Feng's mind. Though Blazing Water Lake was dangerous, it was much safer than God-destroying valley. Though there were hundreds of kinds of danger, they were nothing to universe masters who were adequately prepared. The only danger that might be a handful was the so-called frozen lake fire, which would suddenly show up above blazing water lake once in a while. Frozen lake fire was blue fire with lightning inside. It was extremely cold, and even Universe Supreme Masters didn't dare resist it directly. Frozen lake fire was able to destroy even top-tier flying palace-type true treasures. It would keep going down, and when it touched blazing water lake, it would freeze the entire lake immediately. However, it wasn't dangerous to Universe Masters. First of all, it moved slowly. It moved tens of times faster than light speed, and Universe Masters were able to see them from a distance, so they could avoid them easily. Secondly, lots of areas in the blazing water lake allowed teleportation, except for those areas close to the water. Which was why lots of Universe Masters ran away when they saw frozen lake fire from a distance. As for some supreme beings, they could hide in Pinnacle Palace-type true treasures, which could withstand frozen lake fire. That was why blazing water lake was only moderately dangerous in Universe Boat. It was close to God-destroying valley where lots of powerful true treasures were born, so blazing water lake could have some advantages because of that too. Some true treasures would show up from the lake. It was safe, and there was a relatively higher chance for true treasures to be born. That was why there would be powers stationed around blazing water lake based on the records of Geofancy. There were space ripples above blazing water lake, and a being showed up. I was stationed in this area, and I felt a ripple. Could it be a true treasure? A giant man with 4 faces and 16 arms appeared. The facial expressions on the 4 faces were all different. He glanced around. He immediately sensed another entity. There it is. Huh. It looks like a human. The great being immediately flew toward the human like a beam of light. This video will end here.